Hey Plant Pals, I'm Mike the Cat Gardener, and today's video is on my favorite dipping sauce. It's a Vietnamese dipping sauce called Nuac Cham. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. In my state, we invited uh, the Hmong community to come live in our state after the war. There was a bunch of a bunch of them came over here to Minnesota, and it was great because they brought their food and traditions and customs uh, to my state. And so, one thing I had when growing up in school, my friends had was this dipping sauce, and I fell in love with it. And it took me forever to replicate it. This right here is not an exact perfect replication of it because I don't have all the ingredients. I don't have the fresh lime here, but I was in the mood for it. I had some wontons here that I wanted to dip in because they're a little dry. I didn't cook them the way I should have cooked them. I should have pan fried them and then put the water in and put the lid on and blah blah blah, steam them a little bit. But I was too lazy. I just microwaved them. These were pre-made, so they're still tasty, but not as good as they could be. I was being lazy, but I definitely wanted something to dip them in. So I made this dipping sauce with my pepper sauce. So what I did was I took a few tablespoons of water, a few tablespoons of my pepper sauce, a tablespoon or so of the Thai fish sauce, and some crushed garlic, and some stevia in the raw for sweetness. And then I ground up my own Szechuan peppercorn because I like the numbing effect. I put it in there and I mixed it up, and I have Nuac Cham. Again, you would need lime. Uh, some restaurants, they put in, for the look, they put in shredded carrot. I don't think it adds much to the flavor. It might add a little bit of sweetness. Um, Typically, it can be like brown sugar in the raw, brown sugar, the little bit of water, the fish sauce, and vinegar. And it's usually rice vinegar, rice wine vinegar. But I decided to try to use my pepper sauce. It's hot, but it's very delicious. And let's give her a little taste. These are my expert chopstick using. See, that takes me back. It's got more of a kick than normally would be in it. My best friend in school, his parents owned a Chinese restaurant, even though they were Vietnamese. I guess we Americans weren't quite ready for Vietnamese restaurants yet. They're all over now, and everybody loves them. But at the time, they labeled themselves as a Chinese restaurant, but they had a lot of traditional Vietnamese food. Excuse my chewing. Don't want to be rude. But anyway, yeah, they had a lot of traditional food on the menu that they said was Chinese, and people loved them, thinking that they were Chinese dishes, but they weren't. And this was one of the dipping sauces that you could get with your meal. And so every time I went to that restaurant, I would practically drink this stuff. I loved it so much. And then the restaurant closed down, and I was very sad because it took me forever to figure out. So I didn't know what the sauce was called. And many years later, through Googling, I found out that it's called Nuac Cham. And I started making it and blending it to my memory, the taste, and I pretty much have it nailed to what I like. You know, again, you can play with the ratios. I'm sure every family has their own version of it. It's just like any other traditional family food recipe that everybody has their own version of it. This is the one that I love the most because this is the one I first experienced. So it's a little bit on the sweeter side. It had a kick because they put, I guess, long story short, is the reason why I like theirs is theirs had red pepper flakes in it, along with the crushed garlic and the shredded carrot and the sugar and the fish sauce and the garlic. and it was just absolutely delicious. So there you have it. That's what I made myself. The reason I'm showing this video is because it's just an homage and ode to them and the delicious flavor that they brought to my palate. And it came to my mind that I should try using, instead of the rice wine vinegar, that I should try using my pepper sauce, and then I don't have to use the red pepper flakes. I mean, I could if I want to. I have a ton here. I have a ton here. But I wanted to use my pepper sauce. And you can use, like I said, I decided to use stevia in the raw to make it a little healthier. It's not like, it's not like these are the healthiest things. They do have some carbs, but I'm going to go back on my carbless diet tomorrow. Well, by the time you see this, I already have been. But yeah, there you have it. Nuac Cham, one of my favorite dipping sauces in the world. All right. Any comments, questions? Leave them in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Have an awesome day.